The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Welcome to today's coaching webinar with your host, Willie Miranda.
Well, good morning, everyone, and thank you very much for coming on today's call. I have a very special call for you. It's called, the title of this call is 7 Easy Ways to Grow Your Real Estate Business by Referrals. My name is Willie Miranda. I'm a gold coach, and I'm going to be walking you through some different steps on how I have trained my own personal agents that I have in my office, but also probably hundreds of coaching members as well that have been very successful on selling business by referral. Just a little background on myself. I started with Craig back in 1998. I came on as a brand new agent. I have many years of insurance experience. Actually, right out of college, I went into selling for Prudential life insurance and door knocking, selling life insurance and health products. Did that for a while, and in 95, I opened up my own Allstate franchise, started a scratch operation, and from there, probably about 3 years later, got a little bored with it and needed to find some additional income, so I got into real estate part-time. I got into it, loved it, and about 3 months into it, I ran into, I actually saw a real estate ad, which many of you have probably seen the same thing. This happened to be in the real estate, or the Realtor magazine, and in that Realtor magazine, it had how this guy, Craig Proctor, was doing all kinds of business out of Toronto and how he was doing no cold calling. And here I was starting real estate for the first time, and that's all they were teaching me is doing cold calling and for sale by owners and door knocking. And I knew there had to be a better way. In my insurance background, I had built my business originally and continue to do so based on referrals. And I knew there had to be a better way and there had to be a better system in place. So I ended up going to the conference. It was a 3-day conference. I was at the edge of my chair the whole time. It was a great event. I came back to my market, wanted to put everything in place, and my broker at the time was a little bit hesitant and would not let me do a lot of the marketing that I wanted to do. So I switched gears and went to RE/MAX in 1999 and started implementing everything that Craig taught me in the Quantum Leap system. And from there, just one after another, every conference that I went to, I'd come back with 3, 4, 5 good ideas and keep implementing that into my business. But what I also did, and this is what I'm going to share with you today, is that I never forgot about my client base, my database. And this is really the secret sauce that I feel for having a successful business, in any business really, but more so in the real estate business. I'm going to share some stats with you in a minute from NAR as to why this is true. But it's very important that if you're building your business and you're in the real estate business right now, you need to have new blood coming in all the time. This where the Quantum Leap system is the only system that I've seen out there, and I've looked at many of them, that brings you a continuous flow of leads through your classified ads, through editorials, through postcards, and all the other things that Craig teaches us, online websites and Google pay-per-click, and all these different things that are out there is driving traffic into our database. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. So in 2002, I ended up going to my own Miranda Real Estate Group. I felt I had the best franchise going, which is the Quantum Leap system, and been growing that each and every year. Started as a single agent, myself and an assistant, myself and a couple of assistants and a buyer agent, and then from there built my team. It was a small team, a very large team, and now we're a small team with a brokerage, and we're doing very well. This year is actually our best year going into it over the last 12 years that we've been in business. We've had a really great run, despite the market being a little bit down in my area, which I don't understand why that is, but I have to say that a lot of it has to be because of the systems that we have in place. And I'm going to share with you some different things that we do on the new business, but more so on the referral side for this call. All right, so 7 easy ways to grow your real estate business by referral. And again, I'm just going to go through and let you know a couple different stats. First stat I wanted to go over is that 69% of real estate results from repeat and referral business. Okay, and when I saw this, and looking at other businesses out there, some businesses, like I talked to my carpet cleaner the other day, he does no advertising whatsoever. He does everything by referral. 100% of his business comes from repeat and referral business, and it's because he gives good service. He has a good process in place. And again, he's out there all the time giving out and giving great information to his clients. So one stat that I saw that was very interesting to go over, and I wanted to show you, is that when we're out there competing for business and we're out there competing for listings, it's very important that you're top of mind with your clients. How many times have you been on a listing appointment, you go out there, you're sitting down with them, you're going through everything, And come to find out, they've only been in the house maybe 2 or 3 years. And when you look at the agent that sold them the property, they're still in the business, but they're only calling you, or they're only calling you and maybe another person that was referred in. The reason for that, what I found, is that many of those people, and I say many of those people, many of those agents, they'll go ahead and they're what we call transactional agents. They come in, they go through the transaction, they find the lead through whatever sources it came through. They get them to the closing. Sometimes they go to the closing, sometimes they don't, and then they forget about them. They're on to the next customer because they feel that, you know what, I already did what I had to do with that person. They're probably not going to buy or sell a house for me again, in the near future, so I'm just going to go ahead and move on. And that's a huge mistake. And this is right here, as you see, number of agents contacted before selecting one to assist them with a sale of a home. 66% will only choose one agent, where you have 19% will actually interview 2 agents. So there's 85% of agents, or I'm sorry, 85% of the time, the consumer is only interviewing 1 or 2 agents. So in order to be top of mind, you need to stay in front of them. So to give you an example, I was on an appointment a few weeks ago, same scenario, went there, I was up against 3 other agents, and we went through everything. And at the end, I got the listing, and I asked them why. And they said, well, you came in, you had a great listing presentation, you're known in the area, we see your advertising out there, we've known you for years, but more importantly, we really feel that we know you. And I said, why is that? And they said, because we get your newsletter every month. Now, this is a neighborhood that I eventually had sold a lot of business with, had a lot of prior clients there, and wanted to continue doing that. So each and every month I sent a newsletter out to this small farm of about 300 people, and they knew who I was. But again, because I was top of mind, I was able to get that appointment. When going through everything, the other 2 agents I noticed weren't even the agent that sold them the house. So I asked them, I said, the second time I went back, I said, can I ask you something? Howard here is still in the business that you bought the house from. And I said, can I ask you why you didn't interview Howard? And she says, you know what? She goes, to be honest with you, until you just said his name, we forgot who he was. We didn't even see him. He had some assistant come to the closing, and we never heard from him. We got a calendar once from him on Christmas, but other than that, we've never heard from him. And, we get your postcards on a regular basis, and we know that you saw a lot of property here, so that's why we called you, and that's why we're going with you. So I said, okay. So point being is that you have to be top of mind. So I want you to really think about that in your own marketplace, whether it's your own customers, your clients, your past clients, or certain areas that you want to dominate. You want to make sure that you're staying top of mind with them, because you want this stat to be in your favor. You want 66% of those people only calling you because you're top of mind. And if they have to go out, and get another person, that's only 19% of the time. Here are some other stats that I found very interesting off of NAR, where how buyers found the real estate agent. First time and repeat buyers. Going through on here real quick, referred by a friend, a neighbor, or relative, 42%. 12% had used the agent before. 4% actually was referred by another real estate broker. So we do a lot of real estate referrals through the Quantum Leap system, or referred through an employer or a relo, 4%. So if you look at that and add that up, that's 62% of those buyers found the agent directly through a referral, right? Because again, people do business with who they know and trust. Let's take a look at the selling side. Methods used to find a real estate agent for first-time or repeat sellers, 39% by a friend or family member, 25% because they used the agent in the past. If you notice on the buyer side, it showed only 12%. Right here, you're looking at 25% actually use that buyer, that seller, that agent again to sell their house. I got to believe that if that agent was a little bit more, or more agents were more aggressive and more top of mind with their customers, that number would be a lot higher. Referred by another real estate broker, 4, and then a reload company, 3. So 71% of sellers actually hire their agent based on a referral of some sort. So when you average out the 2, the 68 and the 71, that's where we're coming up with the 62. National statistics show that you're about 68%. 68% come as a direct result of a referral. All right, so let's jump into this a little bit. Here's a question that I have. When I start with coaching members and I'm sitting down with these coaching members, I always ask them, are you a career agent or a transactional agent? And then I pause and listen to what they have to say. And they like to say career, but they don't really know what transactional means. So I show them this chart here, and I go through. If you look on the left-hand side, Transactional agents. These are the agents that I was just talking about that never even go to the closing table, never stay top of mind with their people. Transactional agents tend to waste a lot of time. They don't really have a good system in place. They have poor spending habits. They have no client loyalty, as I just showed you an example of. They tend to be lead squirrels with low conversion rates. They're ripe and rotten. They don't get to and seek the additional training that they need going to conferences like we have one, that we have going to the Quantum Lead conferences, and also low profit margins and agent burnout. So if you look at that, again, it just shows that this agent is just all over the place. They just get all these leads. They don't have a good system in place to convert them. They're not getting the education, the training. They're just going from one deal to the next, and that's your transactional agents. Your career agents, these are the people, or your Quantum Leap agents, these are the agents that I want to coach and train. These are the agents that Craig has developed over time and have been very successful in the real estate business. They have great time and management skills, right? So they use their time efficiently. They know their numbers. They know how many leads they got coming in. They know how many leads they have to go on to convert to an appointment. They know what their sales are. They know everything that they have going on, all the stats that they need to know going in to beat out their competition, they know. They receive repeat and referral business. Why? Because they're in constant communication with their prospects. They're in constant communication with their clients, whether it be a quarterly newsletter, a monthly newsletter, an email blast, phone calls, and we'll go over a couple examples of some of the different things that we do. But again, repeat and referral business is really where you want to be, combined with driving new blood into your database. They have a systematic database with higher conversion rates. What I mean by that is they have a good follow-up system, they have a good drip email campaign, and they have systems in place to make sure that they're converting those leads, that they're not just leaving those leads on the table. Stats show that 80% of sales are made on the 5th to 12th contact. Most agents, and most agents that are on, say, Zillow, or they get these market leader leads or Google pay-per-click type leads, they're getting those leads in, but they're only making maybe one phone call or two phone calls, and then they're letting the lead drop. You need to make anywhere between 5 to 12 contacts on each and every lead that you have, and that goes true for anything that you receive through your Success website. The next piece of it, they're green and growing. They're constantly seeking more information, more knowledge, more training. They're coming on to webinars like this, learning how they can grow their business. They're involved in coaching programs. They're involved in anything they can to keep continually growing. Whether they're a new agent in the business or they've been in the business 40 years, you want to continually be green and growing in order to be a career agent. And then the last piece on here is that career agents tend to have higher profits. Again, they know their numbers. Their margins are a lot better, and they have successful businesses, and hopefully businesses that they're going to be able to turn around and sell in the near future. So as I'm talking about that, I wanted to talk a little bit about why referrals and why you should be really focused on your database. I was just talking to a coaching member about a month and a half ago, and a nice girl right out of Arizona, and we were talking about some different ways that she can, get her business going. She was a little bit of a slump. And my findings was that she's been in the business about 20 years. She has no database. In other words, she doesn't have a top producer or an agent office, wise agent. She doesn't have anything. Everything's in a file in her garage. And she doesn't reach out to them. She just figures that, hey, my source of business is that they know what I do. They know who I am. And when they're ready to buy, they'll call me. And she sends them out a little calendar every year, once a year, that she sends out to them. That's it. So we're talking with her and going over some different things. I said, what if you started going back through those files, converting all those leads, putting them into your database, and start nurturing those leads each and every month? Reach out to them, make a follow-up call campaign with them, send them a letter, introduction letter of some type, and then really follow up with them. One of the things that I've had her do, and actually a couple of my agents do, is actually give out a free cost market analysis. Everyone wants to know their value of their home, just like they like the value of their 401k and their retirement plan. Well, probably their biggest asset, even bigger than a lot of times their retirement account, is their asset, their home. So by actually you being able to reach out to them on an annual basis, give them a cost market analysis on their property, this will make a big difference in you staying top of mind and letting them know that you're the true professional and you're the one that they're going to go to when looking next time to sell their property. But more importantly, I want to know who they know that's looking to buy or sell. All right, that's what I want to know, because I want to know at the end of those calls, after we went over their information, who else do you think that would benefit from this type of service I provide? So I want their friends, I want their family members, I want their children, and I want to grow on that. So far, she put everything in. I think she came up with about 125 people. She sent on her first mailing out to them, got on the phone, and in the first 20 phone calls that she had 2 buyer leads. So we'll see next month what she comes up with and see how much more she's able to produce. But the point being is that she never did that. She never even thought to reach out to these people. And she knows that she would have never received those 2 buyer leads if she didn't reach out to her current database. All right, so going over to 7 easy ways to grow your referral business. I'm going to kind of label them through right now and go through it. The first one is you want to make sure that you're putting all your contacts into one database. I don't care what that database is. The importance of a database is this. No different than a doctor, a CPA, an attorney, okay? Their value or their business, when they go to check out, when you're looking at, exit strategy down the road here, and you're saying to yourself, okay, what's the real value of my business? Most real estate agents make a huge mistake when they leave their business or when they get ready to retire. The mistake that they make is that they don't have a database. They don't have a database that they have that's been systematic and proven to generate referrals. So what I teach all of my coaching members to make sure that they put all of their contacts into one database, because your success or failure in the real estate business is in direct proportion to the number of people that are in that database, that when they think of real estate, they think of you. So the bigger that database, the more successful you're going to be. So think about that. The other thing is that when you go to retire or you go to slow down a little bit, or if you want to incorporate other team members, that's also a huge asset. That's what you can sell, and you can continue getting residuals, just like I do in my insurance business. Each and every year, I know come January 1st about what I'm going to make out of that insurance business is because I have repeat and referral business that's coming in residual income. So you could do the same with your real estate business by having this, by having a newsletter going out each and every month, and we're going to talk a little bit about that, what you need to do. All right, number 2, you want to organize and qualify your database. I'm going to show you some different categorizing that we do to make sure that you can organize and qualify it, because you don't want just a database full of names, phone numbers, or, like one guy told me he put the whole zip code in his database. Well, that's not a database. You want a database of people that you can call, and they know who you are, they know of you, and they've been receiving information from you. Okay, that's organizing and qualifying your database. We're going to talk about that. Mail introduction letter, personal brochures, different things that you can send out to them ahead of time, and then follow it up with a phone call. Follow-up mailing with a phone call is very important. That's number 4. Sending personal notes, believe it or not, texting and emailing and all this other stuff, yeah, it's really convenient, but there's nothing replaces a personal note. Setting up monthly newsletters to your A and B list, we're going to talk about that. And then number 7, which is my favorite, client appreciation events. I've never had a client appreciation event that wasn't appreciated by my clients, but more so, always receive referrals usually within 2 or 3 months after those client events, and I'm going to show you a couple examples of that. Okay, so the first one, you want to put all contacts into one database. So as you see here on the screen, all your prospecting efforts, whether I don't know, agents do all kinds of different things, but mostly online advertisement, all of your information that you got from your websites, anything that you're prospecting for, all your follow-up calls. I know some agents do open houses still. All those people that you meet at open houses you want to put in there. So you want to continue putting that into one big funnel, which is your database. Your direct mail, your Craigslist, your website, classified ads, referrals. Everything is going to go in there, and all your marketing efforts and prospecting go into this one funnel. And through that is what you do. The product of that is going to be your core database here at the bottom. This is the goal, and this is what you're trying to do. So by organizing these, and this is number 2, you want to organize and qualify your database. Now, this is what I've used, and this will be available to you on the website. This whole presentation. So you'll be able to, if you can't copy it all down, you'll be able to make a copy or pull it off the website. But the first piece here is you want to put in your A clients, right? Your A clients. The definition of an A client. These are your biggest raving fans. These are clients or prospects that have referred your business, or who will refer your business in the future because they've said so, or maybe clients that have done business with you in the past. So that example that I gave you with Howard there, his A client would have been that person because he had did business with them in the past. He would have been reaching out to him on a monthly basis, making phone calls, sending him cost market analysis every year. But because he didn't do that, he didn't get the phone call. All right. So after this phone call, I'm hoping that everyone's going to go through and get your database organized and start really working on putting all your information, all your data, and all your clients into one database. All right, the next category down is your B clients. These are clients or prospects that have stated that they would do business with you in the future or refer potential prospects to you. So give you an example of that. Your B client would be someone that you met at a networking event, or maybe you were out at an open house, or whatever the situation may be. You pick them up, they put them into your database, they automatically become a prospect, right? So they're a C client. But once you have that phone conversation with them, or once you talk to them and say, who do you, I see you're at the open house, blah, blah, blah. Do you have an agent that you're working with at the time? And most of them will say no, right? Or some of them will say yes, and just to kind of not want to have to give you additional information. But most of the people that are out there, if they're just kind of looking around, they're on the internet, they're not really working with an agent. So if you can get them to come with you, whether it be signing a buyer contract or actually a listing contract, you want to get them on board. But then you also want to know that, if they did have someone that was interested in buying or selling, and if they were looking to buy or sell a house, do you have an agent that you would refer them to? And if they say no, which, let's face it, 8 out of 10 times they're going to say that, then they become a B client, because then you want to earn that respect from them, you want to earn that business from them, and you want to categorize them as that. So B here says clients or prospects that have stated that they would do business with you in the future or refer potential prospects. Those are your B clients. Your C clients, I already mentioned, prospects or clients who have not referred leads to you and may be or may not be so, in the future. These are new leads or prospects that are coming into your funnel. You want to follow up with them. Make sure you have a conversation with them regarding referrals and future business. So those leads, whether they be, like a lot of the internet leads that we get, a lot of the leads that we might get from, different areas or maybe different farm areas, those are going to be categorized as C. And then your last one on here is D clients. These are the dead prospects. These are your dead leads, I call them. These are prospects or clients that you really don't want to work with. They're leads that are in your system, but you keep them in there for tracking purposes, but you really don't want to even be sending them stuff or waste your money on marketing to them, but they're your D clients. So this is how you have to categorize your database. So your A and B clients are your most important, because these are your biggest raving fans, and these are people that said they're going to do business with you. These are the people that you're going to spend more time and money with. And then these C clients, your goal is to get C's up to B's and then B's up to A's. Okay? So that's number 2. Here's number 3, mailing an introduction letter or personal brochure. So going back to this coaching member that I had in Arizona, she kind of felt embarrassed because she said that, I haven't talked to a lot of these people in a long time. I don't know if they know who I am. I'm pretty sure they do, et cetera, et cetera. But we wanted to, kind of give her a little bit of feedback as to what she should be sending out. So I gave her this letter, which she went ahead and changed to suit for her own needs. But this is one of my agents in my office who came on board with us. And basically it just says, Dear Craig, I hope this letter finds everyone in good spirits and enjoying the fall foliage. I'm very excited to announce that I've joined the team of Willie Miranda Real Estate Group, located in Rotterdam, New York, or Rotterdam and Clifton Park, New York. Willie has helped hundreds of families either buy or sell a home throughout the Capital District area. Our team concept sets us apart from other companies. The Miranda Real Estate Group is proud to say that we are a company built on referrals, focusing on our clients' needs and their specific needs. We make a constant effort to improve the level of service we provide to you, because in our business, the most profound assets we possess are your respect and your trust. Whether buying or selling, would like to offer our team services to you, your family, and your friends during the next real estate transaction. We offer many unique consumer programs, such as the VIP buyer. We will find the perfect home, making your home buying experience a dream come true. As a seller, we will put you into our hassle-free home selling program, guaranteeing that we sell your home for top dollar in the shortest amount of time with the least amount of worry. If you know of someone that would appreciate what our team can do, please contact me with their name and number. I'll be happy to help them. You can be assured that I will do everything possible to assist them and to justify your confidence in me. Sincerely, Andrea Durkin. So this is a letter that she had sent out. Andrea's, very successful in the real estate business. And again, she's just sending that information out ahead of time, sending her personal brochure in there sending her business card in there, and then she's following up with phone calls. So they're all starting in her database, most of these people as a C client prospect, and then they get to that B and A level by where she determines where they should be after that phone call. So if they don't have a real estate agent that they're working with, they don't have anyone that that they've used in a long time, then she's going to pick them up as clients. And again, any new agent coming on board, their first job is that they have to get at least 100 people down in the database. That's when they're starting with me anyways. They have to have at least 100 first to start. Once they have that, then they build up from there. The goal is not to have 5,000 people in your database. The goal is to have a good quality database that's referring business to you. To give you an example, my database right now is only about 500 clients in customers and names that I've had over the last almost 16 years now. And again, that even can be weeded back a little bit. So you don't need a huge database, but you definitely need to have one that's of quality and people that you're reaching out to. So that's the introduction letter, and here's the actual personal brochure that I send out. I know it's a little bit choppy on here with the screening, but again, this proof is actually on the website. You can actually pull this off the website. But just some information on our team concept, some of the different consumer programs that we offer, such as a guarantee program, our seller services, buyer services, and commercial services. We have a copy of our moving truck on there, a picture of that, and we talk about the different things about why they should do business with us and go into our website, and then we talk about our 3 locations to serve them. On the back, there's a letter from me, just basically says, I really appreciate their time of reading through the information, and we want to provide you excellent service, and I really appreciate our past and future customers for doing business with us. And then there's it folds. It's a little trifold. We can label it right there, and we send it out, or we actually put it in the envelope. Fits perfect in our envelopes, and we mail them out. Again, your home sold at a price acceptable to you, or I'll buy it for cash. That's been my unique selling proposition since 2000, and that's what we're known for in our market area. And then we have a couple homes that are listed that are convenient. Like you wouldn't put this in Arizona, a big brownstone here. But point being is that you want to put properties in there that match your current marketplace. All right, so everyone on this call should have a personal brochure. If you don't have one, you definitely want to do that. There's some examples, again, on the Craig Proctor website. You can take a look. And I can always shoot you an example also if you don't have one. Number 4, follow-up mailing with a phone call. All right, you want to make sure that you're following these calls up. Now, I mentioned before, what I think that's been really working is making these phone calls and letting them know that part of your service for them being a client to you, one of the things that you do to all your clients is that you give them a free cost market analysis. We have this new reporting system. I don't know if it's new or not, but something that's been new now for the last 8 months in our office called the RPR. It's a realtor resource, residential realtor resource, I think it's called. It's a great little like CMA service that you can get. Our multiple listing provides it, and what I found is that most multiple listings around the country provide it, but it's called an RPR, and basically all we do is you just put the address of the property. It spits out this like 30-page report of all other area home values, trends, and just tons of information on it, and I'm able to take that information and give that to my consumer. So each and every year we could just pop it over to them in an email. But again, we want to have that phone call. Let them know that, hey, I'm sending this out to you. Take a look at it. And if you have any questions, please give me a call just to give you an idea of what's going on in the market area. And if there's a discrepancy on there, or if you feel that it's too low or too high, give me a call back, and I'll be more than happy to help you out. Again, huge service to your clients, stays top of mind with them, and you always want to end the conversation as, who else do you know that could benefit from this type of a service? That's how you build your database. So the follow-up mailing, basically what Andrea did, she's just calling them back. Hi, Craig, this is Andrea Durkin. I just wanted to, did I catch you at a good time? How is the family, business, whatever? So she's building a little bit of small talk that she has with them. I'm checking to see if you received the brochure and letter I sent you about me joining Miranda Real Estate Group. My goal is to build relationships with people like you who know and trust me and who would refer me to their friends and family. Do you currently have a real estate agent you would personally use, or who you would refer your friends and family members to? And she just waits to see what they say. And most of the time she said that they're saying, no, they don't have one. Or they say, well, obviously, Andrea, I'd use you now. So she's like, great. But if they just say no and they don't really have any comment or questions on it after the fact, she'll say, I'd like to be that real estate agent and add you to my monthly newsletter. What would be the best address to send this newsletter to? So she's getting their home addresses. Sometimes she only has people's names and phone numbers. Sometimes she only has their work address, if they're business contacts or relationships, especially people that she networks with. But if you can get their home address, that's where you want to be sending these mailings to. And that's what she's doing. She's sending it up. She's setting up her database so that she can mail them newsletters. And nothing replaces, and this is right from Dan Kennedy, nothing replaces a newsletter in the mailbox versus any other type of marketing that you do. Dan Kennedy says this because he said that in the mailbox, it's going to get better shelf life. The readability is so much better. And people, you're not getting as much mail anymore. Direct mail is definitely by far, in Dan Kennedy's eyes, the best form of marketing. The email newsletters, we've been tracking them ourselves, and it is true. We used to get somewhere around a 35-40% open rate. Those open rates, we're lucky to get anywhere between 15 to 17% open rates now. So think about that. Over 100 emails that you send your newsletter to, you only have 15 to 17 people actually opening it up. And that's opening it up. We don't even know who's actually reading it. But you know for sure that the newsletters that you're sending out to your customers' homes, pretty much you're going to see 90 to 100% of them opening that and reading that, or at least they see you top of mind. All right, so take that in account when you're doing your marketing here coming up. You want to make sure that you include a newsletter right to their front door each and every time, each and every month. And if you can't afford monthly, go quarterly, but get something in the mail to them, and a newsletter is the best way to do that. Number 5, sending personal notes. Again, very important. Personal notes is something by far that you don't see that much anymore. I get a personal note from the guy that I buy my car with every year. He sends me a birthday card, personal in the mail. He sends me a annual renewal. Hey, it's been another year since you purchased the car, and I've been buying cars with him for 12 years now. Why? Because he reaches out, he makes a phone call, check how things are going. He's in contact with me at least quarterly, minimum quarterly. And I don't forget his name, right? Steve Miller is his name. But he sends personal notes out to me. Now I have a friend of mine, very good friend of mine, Mike. He's been at 5 different dealerships over the last 12 years. And I asked him, I told him about my guy and referred business to him, and he's been using him now and getting these personal notes and everything else. But I asked Mike, I said, what was the name of your dealer? Like, he doesn't even remember the name of the guy that sold him the car, and he's been jumping around from dealership to dealership because, again, you don't have that relationship. Once you have that knowledge and trust and you feel confident and comfortable with someone, that's how you get these sales, right? So I gave it a salesperson at a dealership as an example, but this guy is like the number one car salesman for this dealership for the whole, Northeast, and it's because this is what he does. He takes very good care of his customers. He gets repeat and referral business. And I asked him, if you had to give me just one thing, what's the one thing that really works for you? Because I always quiz him and drill him. He said, Willie, it's the personal notes. He said, I write anywhere between only 5 or 10 personal notes a day. But he said, if I go a day without writing a personal note, he said, then I didn't work. And he said, and I definitely see the effects of it. Personal notes definitely make me stand out amongst all the other car dealers here in the area. So taking that to the real estate model, right, we should be sending out a personal note for everything that we do. So I had a couple different examples on here. Thank you after a listing presentation, right? So thank you for giving me the opportunity to discuss the benefits allow me and my company to serve you in your real estate needs. We believe that quality blended with excellent service is the foundation for a successful business relationship. Right? It doesn't have to be Shakespeare. It doesn't have to be anything really long, but you definitely want to have something that's consistent. You want to have something that you're sending out on a consistent basis. And if you can't do it, delegate it to your assistant. Tell them this is what I want you to do. Number these 1 through 20 or whatever your examples are, and then say, okay, send this person number 6, send this person number 9, and let someone else write them out for you. But the main thing is that you want to get a personal note out to them. The texting and the emails, it's great, but it's not the same effect. And the reason for it is because you actually took the time to actually sit down, take your pen out, write it out, put a stamp on it, lick the envelope, and bring it to the mailbox and send it out. You actually had a made effort to do it, where a text or an email didn't really take that much time out of your day. All right, so I have different ones on it. I'm not going to read every one, but we have thank you for your listing presentation. Thank you for the listing once you do get it. Thank you after getting the listing. Thank you for a buyer after a showing. A thank you after a purchase. You want to also thank your buyers after a close of escrow. For sale by owners. You know, a lot of times some of you are going out maybe with your buyers and taking a look at for sale by owners. Send them a note thanking them, and you wish them the best of luck selling their property. And if they ever find a need to employ a professional real estate firm, that you'd appreciate the opportunity to show all the excellent benefits that you have to offer. Right? Real quick and easy, to the point, but that's going to stand out so much more than the 20 other agents that are picking up the phone call, cold calling them and bothering and pestering them, 5, 10, 15 times during the week. We're here to get your personal note with your brochure. And again, it's very friendly, and you're going to get the call on that. But you want to give them good information. We have tons of reports, too, that you can give them through the Correct Proctor system. Happy anniversary, right? This is a great way to get out there, whether it be the happy anniversary of their home, and happy anniversary for themselves. We send out an anniversary card to everyone that has bought a home with us. So if they bought a house, let's say, whatever, it doesn't matter what the dates are, but they bought a house today, then next year we have it to pop up 5 days before their anniversary for us to mail out a card. And with that card prompts them to give our office a call because we want to give them a cost market analysis. Referral thank you. So you definitely want to thank the referrals. So many people make the mistake is only giving out, let's say, a bottle of wine or giving out a gift card or saying thank you to someone when someone buys a home. So in other words, if my brother referred me to someone and referred me 5 people but only one sold, then I will only thank him for that one person, maybe, give him a $25 card or a gift certificate somewhere or a $50 gift certificate somewhere. You don't want to do that. You always want to thank and reward on the referral, not on the sale. Always thank on the referral, not on the sale. All right? So here's a quick one that you could do. Thank you for referring the Smiths to me. You can rest assured that I'll do my best to help them and justify your confidence in me. Right? And then after you send them something, send them a car wash ticket. You can send them a scratch-off ticket. Whatever you want to do, but refer them on a thank you. Send those thank you cards on those referrals. New on the market card. You can do that. You can also thank anyone that does service for you, right? I just had a guy do my lawn, and I can always give him a thank you note. I got his card upstairs, so I'll probably do that. Actually, I know that he's already in my database, and him and his girlfriend probably going to be looking to get married and I guess he's going to be getting engaged this year sometime, he told me. Just talking to him this morning. Seems like every time I talk to him, I don't know if he's trying to get away from her or not, but it's funny. But again, these are people that you want to keep in your system. He gets my newsletter every month, and they're staying in front of him. And then telephone contacts, people you talk to on the phone. So if you get a good lead and they're looking sometime down the road, they say, hey, I'm not ready now, but maybe in 6 months, give me a call back. You're going to put them in your database to call them in half the time, but you're going to, actually write them a note, send them a personal note with your card and personal information. You want them to have that shelf life. You want them to have something in front of you that they can keep. All right, so that's number 5. Number 6, setting up a monthly newsletter to your A and B list. We do this each and every month. We get a lot of great feedback from our clients on this, and they change. There's a lot of different things. I won't get into every one of them, but basically we have it for insurance and real estate clients that we send out to. For my best A and B clients, I should say. So on my insurance clients, I'm giving it to the ones that have auto, homeowners, and life insurance with us. Those are our A clients. So we want to make sure that they're getting a newsletter from us versus someone that just has a renter's policy. On the real estate side, you want your A and B list, just like we went over before. These are the people that you want to spend money on, and you want to spend that, 50, 60, 70 cents, whatever it costs you per month, per household, to get a newsletter out to. So this is just an example of the front of my newsletter, but on here, we'll have different recognition of what's going on in my office. We have our charity event for our children's hospital, but we'll have editorial ads in there. We'll have classified ads in there. We'll have testimonials from our agents in there. And these are the things that we keep in front of people each and every month. And repetition, and consistency is what's getting us this business, and why last year over 71% of our business came by repeat and referral business. All right, and the last piece on here, number 7, and then we'll open it up to questions. So if you have any questions, please feel free to type your notes in the question box, and we'll be able to answer those for you. But the last piece on here is number 7, client appreciation events. We do all different types of events. One of the events that we do each and every year is our pie event. If you notice on here, I'm giving out a pie, and actually these 2 pictures here are from our pie event. Last year we gave out 280 pies to our clients. So usually the Tuesday before Thanksgiving, we'll go ahead and we'll send out postcards, well in advance, usually 3 or 4 weeks before, let them know to RSVP to let us know what type of pie that they like, either an apple or a pumpkin pie, and that they can come by Tuesday between, whatever time they want to come through. I think it's usually between like 3 and 7 or 3 and 8 at night, where they can actually pop in and pick up their free pie. These pies, we get them like at Sam's Club. They're like $8 or $10 a piece. They're not really big deals. We'll throw a ribbon on them. We'll put our cards on there. We'll, again, put on there, we appreciate your referrals and your business. But it's amazing how many people will drive sometimes 30 minutes in the rain or snow, because upstate New York, in November, it's always cold, and sometimes we get a little bit of snow, to come in for these $8 and $10 pies. And what I noticed that it's not so much as the pie as the relationship, right? They want to come out. It's an event they've been to in the past. They come in there. They see other clients. They see myself. They see my agents. And it's a client event. It's an appreciation event. They're coming in, and they really feel special about coming in and be able to pick up that pie. Some people that are not able to make it, we have some of my agents will actually deliver it out to them either that night or the next day. We have some older people that can't get out. But they want the pie, so they'll actually physically go out and stop by their houses and deliver the pies. But each and every year this has grown. I mean, the first year I think we only had like 60 or 70 pies. Probably this next coming year will be over 300. But people really do appreciate it, and maybe even if they don't even collect a pie or they don't even come, they want you to come deliver the pie, the fact that you offer them that really goes a long way with them, and they almost feel like, you gave me something, we want to give you something. So it's a whole law of reciprocity. And usually, I would say within 2-3 months, we've all been able to track this in our team. We've all received 3 or 4 referrals, and we know it's a direct result of our client events. Up here, you'll see a car wash. Each and every year we do a car wash at our office, and we'll have cars come in. This is a big, dirty van that came in one day for $5. We're washing these cars that are coming in, but we're raising money for the Children's Hospital. And we send it out there. And this is my daughter here. Her back's to this picture, where she organizes that. And every year she raises anywhere between $700 to $1,000 for the Children's Hospital. This is our golf event. We invite clients to this event. We have a couple tables for my very best A-plus clients. I get a table of 10 and have them at that table. And these are people that have given me multiple referrals for the year, multiple sales. They're the ones being invited to that. And they come to our golf event. We've had this each and every year for the Children's Hospital. And last year, we raised over $22,000 for the event. But in total, we're up over $150,000 for the Children's Hospital. So it's been great, and we're going to continue doing that each and every year. Our sponsor list grows. Our golfers grow. We have anywhere between 145 golfers that come out. But we've had up to 180, almost 200 that attended dinner, because a lot of those, again, are clients that are coming out that might not golf, but they want to participate in that event, because we make that a company event benefiting the Children's Hospital at Albany Medical Center. So client appreciation events are very easy to do. You can do a very small, the pie thing is easy. If you don't want them coming into your office, then you can bring it out to their homes. If you want to do something small, like to have a breakfast, where you can invite them, to a diner, you have a little round table, you can have 5 or 10 of your clients come in, maybe business owners, if you want to do that. We have a business card exchange that we do once a year as a client event for our business customers. And we're going to actually be having another one coming up in the fall. But these are all things that you can do to do client parties. So, again, just keep that and be open-minded to that. But client parties and client appreciation events definitely drive referrals. In this last screen here, just kind of going over a few different things with what we do. It's not only the Children's Hospital that we do, and there's me giving a check out to the representative of the Children's Hospital, but we'll do different things like this down here is Workplace, right? So we have the Women's Employment Resource Center. It's called Work. And these are ladies that are been out of the workforce for a number of years. Maybe they were stay-at-home moms, or they just didn't have the skills and haven't kept up with the skills of technology and everything that's out there today. And now they're going back into the workforce. Sometimes they need clothing. Sometimes they need computers. They need just different things to be out there. And we donate each and every year to that. Here's our truck that we donate. We donate $1,000 as a sponsor, but we're able to collect all kinds of clothes. So my agency, we've had probably a whole truckload. Each and every year we have a whole truckload of all my agents giving out suits and dresses and slacks and shoes and briefcases and purses and all the different things that these ladies can use are collected each and every year. And I think last year we raised over $20,000 for that organization. Children's Hospital, talked about that. Toys for Tots, breast cancer awareness walks, all the different sporting events in my town that I'm in. So from football to softball that I coach to my daughter's soccer team, boys club, junior achievement. The list goes on and on. There's probably a few more that are not even on this list. Here's the actual the car wash when they get together, and here's my daughter here with my nephew getting all the kids involved and washing the cars. But people love it. We have people that pull up to the car wash with $20 and don't even worry about washing my car. Just wanted to make a donation. Those type of things. Or they'll get their car washed for $5 and they'll give us $50. Those type of things. But it goes a long way. And giving back, you want to make sure that you're giving back because you want to give back to the community. And by giving back to the community, you'll meet other people, and that will also increase your referral business. All right. So at this time, what I'm going to do is open it up to some questions. And Andrea, maybe you can just kind of give them a way to do that and see if there's any questions out there from anyone.
Yes, sir. If you haven't done so already, go ahead and click the hand icon. If you have a working mic or you're on the telephone, it's still at top left or right-hand side, depending on your control panel. Or you can type your questions in the chat box. So go ahead and do so now.
All right. So one question that I had emailed to me actually yesterday was based on the referral sources. And they asked me, how many times should they be sending out, or how often should you be sending out a newsletter? We talked about that a little bit on here, but Dan Kennedy talks about this, doing it monthly. I was guilty of this. I would send one out kind of sporadically, maybe once every other month or once every quarter. Once every month is definitely what you want to do. The reason for that is because you want to stay top of mind. And, if you look in the Millionaire book by Gary Keller, it was a great book. He talks about the 12 Direct program. There's a reason why that is, right? The top agents across the country have a 12 Direct program to their have not met database, right? These are the people they haven't met yet. So whether it be a farming area or an area that's out there that they're trying to penetrate, they say 12 Direct is very important because that's what's going to create that top of mind awareness. So make sure that you somehow figure out how to do that on a monthly basis. And it doesn't have to be a newsletter every month. It could be a newsletter one month. It could be a postcard the next. It could be, maybe a market update of what's going on in the marketplace out there. So one of the things that we do is we have a sheet that we send out that gives all the active, pending, and sold in our marketplace. Now, some of you may not be able to send out the active because they're currently being marketed and you need permission from the agents, and that's okay. But you can definitely send them all the sold listings in that area. So every quarter, what a great piece of mail to be able to put together where you can actually send, here's some information I wanted to give you on our current market. Here's the last, quarter closings for the Clifton Park area is what we send out, so 12065 zip code. And we have on there, 40 or 50 houses, depending on how many were there for that quarter. But point being is that people see that. They love the information. They're nosy. It's great, valuable information to them, so you want to be sending them something of value. And they read it. They see that information. And believe it or not, some people, when they receive it, I've had comments that they're like, wow, I asked them, what made you choose Brand Real Estate Group? They said, well, we get your stat sheet there every quarter or so, and you guys sell a lot of houses, so they actually think that we're the ones selling all those properties, which is great. I mean, we have a good handful of them, but definitely not, 100 or 200 homes that we send out. But the point being is that you want to get that out in front of them. You want to get that information out there because that's what's going to set you apart. You want to make sure that they're seeing testimonials from you in your newsletter. You want to send testimonials out in your postcards so that they see that. because that third-party endorsement is very, very strong. And you want to have something in the mailbox each and every month. All right, well, we're coming right up on the top of the hour, so I think we'll go ahead and end today's call. But I did want to, again, remind everyone that you can get this information, and I will upload this presentation onto the Correct Proctor site through the coaching area on the actual website. You'll be able to download every slide on here, so if you wanted to get back into how to pre-sort and qualify your database, you can. They'll have all the examples of the personal notes on here. And more importantly, it gets you working in the direction of being more of a career agent versus being a transactional agent. A lot of times when I'm talking to agents or coaching members, I'll go through and I'll say, hey, circle which one you think is you. And sometimes it's a 50-50, right? They'll go 50% transactional, 50% career. But our goal is to move them 100% to the career side because these are the agents that are most successful. These are agents that are going to have long-term businesses and businesses that have value that they can either sell or receive residual income from. But these are agents that are going to have a better quality of life moving forward, and that's a goal that I've been doing since I've been coaching since 2006, and I know it's definitely a goal of the Correct Proctor to make sure that each and one of his members have a much better quality of life and have a successful business and a profitable business moving forward. So with that, I want to thank everyone for your time today. And if you have any questions, please feel free to send me an email at wmiranda@mrgteam.com. Again, that's wmiranda, M-I-R-A-N-D-A, @mrgteam.com. And I'll be more than happy to answer any questions that you may have. So with that, Andrea, thank you very much for your time, and we will talk to everyone in a couple weeks. Take care. Bye-bye now.
Thank you, Willie. Thank you, everyone, for joining. Have a wonderful afternoon.